Okay. Just got to check a few things. You guys already know. You got to give me a second. Okay, it's looking like we good. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Chicago Conservative live stream edition, guys. Sorry, I ain't been going live for the past 2 days. I've been trying to actually get some videos when it comes to, me interacting with the people of Chicago. Been trying to, get back out there because it's been getting hot and stuff like that. So you guys got to bear with me when it comes to the lives. What's going on, Brooke? Appreciate everybody joining the live. I know it's a little late, but I mean, better late than never, right? Ruth, hey, what's going on? What's going on, Henry? What's going on, everybody? Thank you guys for joining the live. Appreciate all the love, guys. So today we actually going to be talking about something very, 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 very interesting. So you guys already know Mr. Dennis. We love Mr. Dennis over here on this channel on the Chicago Conservative team. Because he always talking them gun laws and them gun rights. So he had a discussion with Zoe Leigh earlier about gun laws and gun rights and things like that. And people were saying that it was very, very controversial, very interesting and things like that. I couldn't catch it live because I was working. So, we just going to watch it, guys, together. And I believe it's like almost like an hour plus long. So, but you guys already know when it comes to Mr. Dennis, he ain't got no filter. So, guys, without further ado, we're going to get right into this video. Let's roll the clip. Yeah, absolutely. Hold on, let's try to fast forward a little bit.
To come on to join us. Mr. Dennis and I are going to speak about the Second Amendment today, gun talk. But before he gets on,
Mama Ruth is not playing. You said bears.
A couple of things. I was told at the last minute that Mayor Brandon Johnson will be. Hold on. Let's see. Hey, Mr. Dennis.
Hey.
Let me just do my little. I just have a couple little announcements to make before we start. Mayor Brandon Johnson will be today at Lakeside Chat at Chicago State University. It says, join us as we welcome the city of Chicago's 57th Mayor Brandon Johnson to Chicago State University with support from CSU's Division of Student Affairs and Office of External Affairs. We will host a Lakeside Chat inviting Chicago students, faculty, staff, and alumni to discuss the vision for Chicago college students. The panel will include Mayor Johnson, a member of CSU's faculty, students, and university leadership. Through this event, you'll gain valuable insights.
See, and that's the problem when it comes to Brandon Johnson and the CTU. He should have no affiliation with the CTU, dude. That's so much conflict of interest. It's honestly ridiculous. How do he get away with this stuff? Chicago is just getting too corrupt. Somebody got to put a stop to this crap. If you're going to run for re-election, the last thing you need to be doing is affiliating yourself with the Chicago Teachers Union, dude. But that's what I'm saying. He knows exactly what he's doing.
On the work of Mayor Johnson, his office, and around ensuring that education disparities are addressed and reduced through CSU's campus and other institutions of higher education in Chicago. The event is free, but an RSVP is required. Now, they didn't really put this out here for everybody, but it's today at 5 o'clock. Well, it was at 5 o'clock, and it was at Gwendolyn Brooks Library, 4th floor.
I believe so.
And I just don't understand what vision he is trying to show the students, because he is destroying Chicago. And ironically, I have Mr. Dennis here, but he's taking ShotSpotter away. Crime is not down 20%.
Yeah, and as soon as
I don't
he
even
took
know.
shot spotters away, sorry, I just want to point out something. As soon as he took shot spotters away, people started dying, guys. I believe like over like what, almost 60 people probably died after shot spotters was taken out. Yeah, so thanks a lot, Brandon Johnson. That's like over 50, 60 plus bodies on your because of you.
I don't even know where to start. However, we have Mr. Dennis here, who is a Second Amendment advocate, and you have a gun, right?
Yes, I'm a firearm owner.
Okay, so Mr. Dennis, tell me who you are and yeah, I guess basically an introduction. Who is Mr. Dennis?
Well, I am a really a plain, simple guy and stuff. And I was born and raised here in Chicago. I spent 20 years in the military, both active and reserve. So after I came back in 04, I wasn't into guns because I didn't have the knowledge of the gun. So my thing was, so I have 3 daughters, and they, everybody need to protect their families and themselves from these criminals that's going on here. But before, I want to make a special announcement, if I may.
Yeah.
As of today, I don't have no affiliation with the Chicago Red organization as of now, for my own personal reasons. And
let's go, Mr. Dennis. He's not playing. So let's go back when it comes to that, guys. Yeah, man. I'll explain, guys, but I want to hear what Mr. Dennis got to say, and then I'll just give you guys some more content, because you guys know I'm not with Chicago Red no more either.
Hey, I don't have no affiliation with the Chicago Red organization as of now, for my own personal reason. And I wish them the very best, but I had to step away from that group.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to my story. It came back like into 20.
Yeah, guys. So before he gets into that, I know a lot of people is surprised. Like a lot of people surprised. You like, what, Mr. Dennis? What? But here's the thing, guys. I gotta break this down, and it's kind of hard. It's kind of a touchy subject because I really did love Chicago Red. What? Thank you, Ruth, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mama Ruth. But yeah, guys, yeah, it's a touchy subject. But the thing is, when it comes to I don't know if you guys know who P. Ray Easley is. She's the founder of Chicago Red. Now, the reason that me and Mr. Dennis left because she's going on X and stuff saying that, oh, that's why we had to remove them and kick them. Like, no, she didn't remove anything. We actually left the group because she decided to take it upon herself to want to meet with Brandon Johnson, guys. Yes, the same Brandon Johnson that I cook at City Hall. The same Brandon Johnson that prioritized illegal immigrants over the citizens of Chicago. The same Brandon Johnson who spent $30,000 in illegal campaign funds on haircuts and makeup. The same Brandon Johnson. Like, I can go on all day long with this guy. Yes, that Brandon Johnson. He lived down the street from me. Yeah, I know it's what, guys. And let me just put this on blast. When I was speaking at City Hall, she wanted me to thank this guy. What? You think I'm finna thank Brandon Johnson? I think she wanted me to thank him because of some crap he did on Christmas or some BS like that. Like, I'm not about to thank Brandon Johnson for him half-ass doing his job. Like, no, I'm not about to do that. And I went up there and I cooked them even more. So it's crazy, guys. And then Mr. Dennis, like, he basically, because here's another thing, guys. She told us not to wear MAGA gear. And you know, Danny and them and Zoe, they said this in a Famous Friday. They like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? Her people looking at them sideways, like, look, I'm confirming that we was looking at P-Ray sideways. What do you mean no MAGA gear? She talking about, oh, because we don't want to, what did she say? We don't want to intimidate Brandon Johnson or some BS like that, guys. It was crazy. It was absolutely nuts. So me and Mr. Dennis, we picked up on this stuff, and then she says she supports Tiffany Henyard, guys. Yes, the same Tiffany Henyard that I cook on a daily basis. And she didn't want us talking about Kamala Harris for real, because that's her Soros sister. You know what I'm saying? Just too many red flags for us, guys. So honestly, deep down inside, P. Ray's a Democrat. And then she supported the looting in the teen takeover. She supported this crap. She actually supported this crap, though, guys. So me, Mr. Dennis, a lot of people in the group, Miss Latanya, Miss Vanita, you know, we had to go. We couldn't do it, guys. I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Me being like a real person, like to myself, to the Republican Party, to you guys, to the conservative team, I would never support no crap like that. And if you guys don't believe me, look on my page. She put it on her ex, but enough of that, guys. But yeah, long story short, she doing deals with Brandon Johnson. She working with Brandon Johnson, and she's a traitor. And we had to go.
That group. Okay, so back to my story. It came back like into during the pandemic when the crime was going up under the Lightfoot administration, and she didn't do nothing to protect the people, the citizens of Chicago. And I counted 12 kids that was gunned down by these criminals during the pandemic, during the George Floyd riot. So that started getting me going. I'm like, I need to get a gun. I need to get a gun. So in 2020, between 2020, 2022, I decided to buy me a firearm. And I started to get to understand it. Then I started to do research on guns and our rights of owning a firearm, especially Black Americans. But I'm more like into all Americans because now we got a crisis going on here. Not only in the city of Chicago, but in the United States, and with these illegal immigrants that's all over everywhere. Mm-hmm. So I'm really motivated now more.
Right, guys, and that's the point that Mr. Dennis was trying to make. And I think he was at this meeting with Desmond Yancey. He was telling the people they needed to arm themselves, and half of them was booing them for some reason. Like, that's stupid. Why would you not want to arm yourself and protect yourself? Are you stupid? You have a Second Amendment for a reason. A lot of people think, oh, Chicago is this, Chicago is that. We can't have gun rights here because the police are going to take it. Like, no, all you got to do is get your concealed and carry, get your FOIA card. You're good.
To help anybody, mainly women, to understand gun safety, understand their right to purchase a firearm, and what to do and what they should not do if they get caught up in a situation, because a gun is an equalizer against any man. And the reason why I say that, because no matter how old you may be, you can't take down somebody who's my height. I'm 6'2" and I'm over 200 pounds. You can't take me down unless you have a firearm. That would equalize the playing field.
Yeah.
So that got me going. I'm more into helping women to understand firearms, purchase a firearm, get training, and protect not only themselves but their family as well.
Does your 3 daughters do they have their FOIA cards?
2 of them do. the youngest
What's
one,
going on?
she
What's going
fill
on,
out the
Drew?
form. She filling out the application to get her FOID card next. So once the next step is to take them to the range and get them trained so they can understand how to use their firearm and when to use their firearm.
Absolutely, guys. This is very important, man. And then this will save so much jail time in the black community. This will save so much jail time. You see all these, I'm not trying to be racist here, but you see all the African Americans in Chicago getting caught with guns, guys. These people ain't licensed to carry guns. And then now what, you about to spend what? 5-10 years in jail for having a gun that what you could have just had legally in your name? It's crazy. Just one little thing can save you like that. Jail time at that, I should say.
When they say Illinois has some of the strictest gun laws in the country, do you agree with that?
Not at all. For the fact that because what Pritzker is doing, he is more like controlling law-abiding citizens, not criminals. Because they call it gun violence, which is not gun violence, because I could sit my gun down on my coffee table, it ain't gonna commit no act of violence, correct?
That's right.
Because it's a tool.
That's a good point. That's an excellent point, guys, and I'm gonna tell you why. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Now I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of people say, "Oh, get rid of the assault rifles in Chicago and all these other states because assault rifles, they commit all of the school shootings and this, that, and the third. Assault rifles are so bad." First of all, if you look at the numbers when it comes to death by assault rifles and death by pistols are way higher than assault rifles. And actually, Mr. Dennis told me this, so shout out Mr. Dennis. But if they really wanted to stop gun violence, they would take away the pistols first, because pistols do way more killings than assault rifles do. Oh, but you don't want to take away pistols because you can hide a pistol. You can protect yourself more safely with a pistol. A pistol is more lighter. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, it's all crap. It's all crap.
They focusing on the guns, but they're not focusing on the crime that's in hand. So people like J.B. Pritzker, and at the time when Joe Biden was president, they talk about, well, we need to ban more semi-automatic, especially like the AR-15, for instance. So they making it hard. If it's not the gun ban sale, they're going to try and limit the magazine capacity of our firearms, just like what they're doing in California. They limit it to 10 rounds. So if you got more than 2 criminals coming at your home, the chances are you might not miss. You probably will miss.
10 bullets is crazy. Being limited to 10 bullets, though, is crazy, California. Come on.
Taking them criminals out. Because you got these blue, yes, because you got these blue states like California, New Jersey, Maryland, Illinois. They got these strict gun laws like it's going to save lives. And it's not saving lives. The only way you're going to save life is if you arm and protect yourself from these criminals and some of these psychotics.
Yeah, guys, another great point, because you got to think about it. Gun laws, I mean, who is this really hurting, though? Is this hurting the citizen or is it hurting the criminal? It's kind of hurting the citizen more, because criminals don't really care about gun laws. They're going to do what they want because, they're a criminal. But if you're putting more gun laws and enforcing more gun laws on citizens, and then it's like it gets too much for them, because now they're like, oh, I got to go through all of this just to get a firearm. Some people rather just not get a firearm because they think, oh, Americans are kind of lazy. They're going to say, oh, it's too much work. And, guns are bad. You already got the guns are bad, people. But here's the thing. Mr. Dennis is absolutely right when it comes to arming yourself. You have to arm yourself in this crazy country we're in right now.
What did you think about, you spoke about the state of Maryland I don't know if you saw the Senator Van Hollen. He went to El Salvador to check on the gang member that is shipped there and will be there for a very long time. What do you think about Senator Van Hollen going there?
Exactly.
To check on him.
I believe that the senator's there. It's for it's a PR stunt. That's what it is. It's a PR stunt. The Democrats don't have a chance to regain the Senate, the White House, or the House of Representatives. They, first of all, that I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him for what he is. He's an MS-13 gang member. He's a wife beater, and he's not an American citizen. So I don't understand why these
absolutely
politicians, especially the Democrats like Jasmine Crockett and them, stating that he deserved due process. But should we have some kind of due process since we're American-born citizens? I believe we should. If it fall under the 14th Amendment, the due process is for natural-born citizens. That's what I believe.
Right.
But see, the one thing about the Democrats,
cook, Mr. Dennis, cook.
Democrats, they not thinking about the victims. They thinking about crime. They want crime to happen. Not on, the red state's not going to allow it to happen. Let's get that understanding, especially in the state of Texas. That's a constitution.
Woo! They will light you up like a firecracker out there, boy. That's why I love Texas, guys. I love like Texas, Florida. I love them red states. They nice, they hot. You know what I'm saying? You can carry out there. It's crazy, man. It's actually crazy how people don't realize the more people are armed, the safer it is. You know how much money that Ron DeSantis brought in the state of Florida? Crazy. Because not only that it's safe, they believe in the police out there when it comes to Florida.
Because Texas and Indiana are constitutional states. So you don't need no permit. And Texas is an open carry state. So if you want to F around and find out in Texas, go right ahead.
You up, bro.
Gotta commit your crime. But I guarantee you, them law-abiding citizens carry a gun on them and they will use it.
Yeah.
Right.
So my thing about what the senator did is just a PR stunt. That's all. But they not thinking about the safety.
The Democrats ain't got nothing else, guys. They ain't got nothing else. I mean, it's the same thing with Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony, guys. They don't have anything else but to pull this race bait crap. Trump is racist. He's taking people out of their homes and sending them back to the country when they're natural born. He's separating families. They're trying to pull emotional tugs, guys. You know this is what they're doing at this point. They don't have any policy. I have yet to hear any policy from a Democrat. Even after Trump won, how are you going to get your party back? I don't care how you do it, but it's looking like you guys just don't give a shit about the Democratic Party anymore. You people are just crazy. They're insane. Truly insane. I seen this one liberal when I was at work today. No, it wasn't today. I believe it was yesterday or the day before that. They had a big old F Trump flag on their porch. Like, why, dude? Crazy.
The seniors,
no,
the men, the women, children, or babies, they're not thinking about it. So
at all.
No, not at all.
And
I'm sorry.
No, keep going.
Well, so my thing with that is they blank. See, here's the thing: when Greg Abbott sent these illegals to Illinois, now they all bent over. They crying, they complaining. So now it's Greg Abbott's fault. He only could control the state. Joe Biden controlled the border. They don't look. They turn everything with a blind eye until they see that it's going to knock on their front door. So my thing is if I could spread the message, not only in the city of Chicago, but the state of Illinois and the United States, that, hey, you all have a right to execute them, if I may use that term. If it's too harsh, I don't care. But you have to execute these illegals, execute these criminals, and maybe that will bring the crime rate down. Chicago, once again, we're the murder capital of this country.
Crime is down 20%.
Huh?
Crime is down 20%.
What about the rest of the 80%? If it's down 20, that means 80% is still there. So I want to address something about what the state of Illinois is doing, especially Pritzker, because see, Illinois is a blue state. The supermajority are Democrats. So what they do, they legislate these unnecessary bills.
And actually, guys, we're gonna have to fact check that. Is crime down 20%? Let's see. Crime rate in Chicago. I'm trying to see. Let's see. Is crime down? They're not giving me a actual number, guys, but it doesn't look like crime went down. It doesn't look like crime went down at all. But yeah.
Especially against law-abiding citizens and gun carriers. First, back 3 years ago, Pritzker signed the Safety Act. I mean, the PICA Act. That's the Protected Illinois Community Act. What that is,
right, if it's down, it's because of Trump.
The sale of all semi-automatic weapons. They call it military-style weapon. So I'm gonna break it down how this military-style weapon do. I was.
Hey, I seen that intro of Mr. Dennis, man. That was beautiful. Man, Mr. Dennis boy came out of the gate. He was not messing around. Yeah, you got to see my reaction when I first saw it. That was crazy. But let's continue, guys. I don't want to drag it.
I was an ex-military. You got, like, for instance, an M16, or now it's an M4, similar to the AR-15. But what the difference is, AR-15 have two features. It got safety and semi. M4 have three: safety, semi, and fully burst, meaning full automatic, like a machine gun. Yeah, that's the difference. And then you got some of them who don't have a clue what AR-15 means. They call it, they say it's an assault rifle. That's what AR-15 means. No, it's armor light. It's an armor light rifle.
That's an armor light?
Yep. That's what AR-15 is. So that's what it does. And see, they say that the reason why they banned it because what happened in Highland Park. So back in 2022,
that was the 4th of July.
It was yes, it was during the 4th of July parade, and this kid over here used an AR-15 to slaughter some of the victims out there in Highland Park. But here's a news flash: 5 people got shot and killed in Washington Park. So Pritzker did not address that.
Right.
Pritzker did not even go to Washington Park here in Chicago to
address. Doesn't do anything. JB Pritzker, listen, man. Here's the thing about JB. He really doesn't do anything other than, I mean, let's say what? He's the governor of Illinois. Please, dude. All you do is collect money and sit in your big chair and think you're a one. You basically just a wannabe dictator. He is basically a wannabe dictator, guys. This dude, JB Pritzker, is a joke. He's not gonna go out there and watch it. Like, what do JB Pritzker looking? What is? He's not about to do that. Come on.
That's the issue. But with the help of Mom Demand Action, Pritzker signed the PICA Act, and we're still fighting. And this one thing what Democrats do, especially when they do these gun control,
and a lot of people won't support
what they're doing.
A lot of people aren't supporting that act, especially police officers. They don't support that because they say that's a violation of the citizens' rights. So a lot of people in Illinois actually aren't even following that act when it comes to officers. So they're smart.
They have the organization like Gun Owners of America, the Illinois State Rifle Association, the Second Amendment Foundation, the the Gun Owner Association, not Gun Owner, I'm sorry, the Gun Rights of America. They spending countless of money to the Supreme Court, and what the Supreme Court do, they punt the law back to the district court. The worst one is the Ninth Circuit out there on the West Coast and the Seventh Circuit here in Illinois. They don't want us to be protected. They want us to become victims of criminals. And then you got people like what's his name? Father Flagler.
Yeah.
He over here talking about we need to control the gun violence. Now he's over there at St. Sabina Church out there in
Gresham.
I used to go to St. Sabina, man. I used to go up there and, play basketball and stuff with my brother. My brothers used to go up there a lot too, man. But yeah, that's what I'm like. Auburn Gresham, a lot of crime over there too, guys. A lot of killing, a lot of gang violence. So Father Flavor, he ain't nothing either. He only come out when it comes for politics too.
He don't address the criminals.
Right.
He addressed only the guns. J.B. Pritzker addressed about the gun. Brandon Johnson, he's another one. Now, a week ago, I caught something on social media when he was talking about, when he said last year, he brought in, he got rid of 12,000 guns out in the street in Chicago. Now, if you got rid of 12,000 guns, if you confiscate them, where's the criminals at?
Right.
You got 12,000 guns. That means
you should
arrest 12,000 criminals.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Are you cleaning the streets up, though, from the people who have the guns? That's a good point, Mr. Dennis. Because if you getting the guns off the streets, that means these criminals should be locked up, right? Because if they're not incarcerated, then what's the point of taking the firearms if all they're going to do is just get another one? It's not hard to get. So
he does that a lot, and I always say it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's just for show to see like they're doing something. Meanwhile, here comes a freight train full of the new guns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think? So I think it was 3 weeks now. You were at the town hall meeting for the Hyde Park shelter, and you said some interesting words which needed to be said. It was just an uncomfortable truth.
Yeah, guys, I actually got the video to this, what she talking about, under my channel. I think he was talking to Desmond Yancey and them. So if you guys want to check that out, that'll be cool too.
At that time, because they weren't understanding, but you were basically saying that they need to get armed. They need to start protecting themselves because basically these people, the elected officials there, do not care. And you were absolutely right. And
they were heckling them too. Oh, what? Oh, what? Get good. Like, what are you, stupid? Yes. You live in Chicago, lady. Like, what's wrong with you? Would you want to get robbed, like, from you for your purse or something? They acting like Mr. Dennis said something wrong. What did he say that was wrong? Get a firearm. That's your right. I'm not understanding what he said that was wrong. Chicago got one of the highest crime rates ever in this, like, in the country. What else do you want him to say?
What is your take on these shelters that are in these areas? One that's on Cicero, 2 miles from Midway, and then we have the Hyde Park shelter that is right over the lake and across from Newport condominiums, and a few other known apartment buildings, condominium buildings in the Hyde Park area.
Well, my thing with that is, when I was over there, when I spoke at that town hall meeting, I knew exactly what I said, and
Thanks, mushrooms.
and I'm not going to apologize for my words, first of all. But you got to look at one thing, Zoe. Those same women who was making all that noise was the same group of women who was at this Chicago City Hall meeting, and what Brandon Johnson did, they blew them off. The reason why I said that, because you got to look at where Hyde Park is. You got some whites, you got seniors, you got retired. They are going to be more victimized right offhand because of these illegals that's over there at that hotel room. So I say, Yancey ain't going to do nothing about it because he voted for half of this. He voted for half of this,
right?
And stuff. And we had to disrupt all these Democrats and let them know we're up to your stuff and we're going to do what we can, even if we had to do a little jail time to disrupt whatever your operation may turn out to be. So when I say we need to arm ourselves, because you got to look at, it ain't that many police in the city of Chicago. Because Brandon Johnson has to.
I actually just looked that number up earlier, guys. It's only 11,000 plus police officers in Chicago. So it's not even 12,000 cops in Chicago. Now, when a criminal hear that, they get like devious, they get Dr. Evil, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, when a civilian hears that, that's scary, like, what do you want people to think? When they hear this, they like, I can't live in Chicago. They don't even have enough officers to protect us. Yes, I looked it up. There are approximately 11,755 officers in Chicago, sworn in officers in Chicago, Illinois. That's crazy. When there are 50 parts of Chicago that are absolutely nuts. That's definitely not enough cops.
To fund most of the police resorts. And then you got Superintendent Snell. He is like his lapdog. Whatever Brandon Johnson say, he gonna do it. And then you got, I cannot fault the officers because they the one who get up. They had to put that bulletproof vest on. They had to carry that gun. They had to patrol the streets. Some partner, some solo. So it's not enough police officer to respond to a crime.
There you go.
Even when ShotSpotter was up.
And then I think it takes like on average 3 to 8 minutes for a police to arrive when you call them. So that's not good. You can be like dying,
And when Brandon Johnson took ShotSpotter out or let the contract run out because he said it promotes racism, him and Byron, I call him Psycho Lopez, but it's
Byron Sancho Lopez.
I'm gonna call him Byron Psycho Lopez.
This is a joke. This is a joke. You're a joke, stupid. Oh man, Byron Sancho Lopez is crazy. You guys do know majority of these aldermen are like new. They're like fairly new. I think this is like their like first year being aldermen and alderwomen, I should say, excuse me. But yeah, they don't know what they're doing. All they're doing is just being Brandon Johnson's lapdogs, lackeys, henchmen.
Lopez, because he's a psychotic socialist. He's talking about how racist ShotSpotter was. Now, ShotSpotter is not the most.
How is ShotSpotter racist, bro? That's saving lives. What is Byron Sancho Lopez talking about? Is he high? What are you talking about? ShotSpotters is to catch the criminals that are potentially killing somebody or murdering somebody or robbing someone. How is that racist? That could be anybody of color. That could be a white guy, black guy, Hispanic guy. Surprisingly, it could be an Asian guy. Because I just read a story like, you know what I'm saying? A couple weeks ago, these Asians be out here tripping too. So you got to watch them now too. Not trying to be racist or nothing.
It's an effective tool, but it's a tool that will help, the police to respond to a shooting incident a little bit faster than people dialing 911.
Yeah, we're at I think 42 Brandon bodies since he's taken ShotSpotter out in particular parts of the city.
I said that earlier. I told you it was like 40 to 50 people that died after he took ShotSpotters away. They're on it.
Body has been found in each of these parts of the city, and he doesn't even address it.
No, he's not going to address it. And now he found a way to stop us from addressing it.
Right.
He bringing these advocates, these paid advocates to speak about who give a damn about a dog and stuff. I mean, I'm a dog lover, but it ain't gonna stop a criminal. It ain't gonna stop from somebody from busting through my door,
right,
and trying to take me out.
The only dog that dog better be John Wick's dog, because if I'm being honest with you, if it's a burglar, yeah, your dog can alert you, but it's not going to really stop the burglar. That's going to be all up to you, because they can just shoot your dog. I hate to say it like that, but they can just shoot your dog, and then you'll just be screaming and running for help. Now, you don't want to do that at all. You actually just want to have your own firearm. I would prefer a shotgun, for home defense. And you can kind of blow their kneecaps off. And you'll keep your dog, so, you stay alive and things like that.
So he know what Brandon Johnson know what he's doing with the help of Carlos Rosa, Byron Cinco Lopez, and Andre Vasquez.
Right, Byron Cinco Lopez. This is a joke. This is a joke.
Putting stuff in his ear and stuff. Don't let them speak on nothing else, because we need this. We need this because we want to take over and make this a socialist city. And then, it's more like a plague. When you make this a socialist city, you're gonna make this a socialist state, and then it's gonna spread, and then it's gonna be another Venezuela.
We kind of there already, guys. When it comes to Chicago, look at the teen takeovers. Look at the people killing each other like dogs in Chicago. We're kind of already there when it comes to the communist socialists. Majority. When it comes to Chicago, not trying to be that guy, but in the predominantly black areas, it kind of is, communism. They really don't have jobs like that. So they're kind of on government assistance. A lot of people in Chicago, look, this might be a hot take, but you can love me, you can hate me, but they don't have high IQ, guys. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. They just don't have high IQ. Yes, it does be an IQ thing sometimes when it comes to people committing crimes, people not committing crimes. A lot of people, fail to have the skills to have necessary to survive out here in society. And when people feel like they don't have the skills to work a job or go to school and learn some new things, then they tend to result to violence, guys. And in Chicago, especially in the black communities, we don't promote trade jobs, things that, like when it comes to things like HVAC and things like that. We don't promote stuff like that at all, which is really, really bad, in my opinion, because we could be teaching kids other than, oh, go to college and get even stupider and get more indoctrinated, then come back out of college and then have absolutely nothing besides student debt. We don't teach, that's all we teach them, but we don't teach them about trade like the other races do. It's crazy.
CP or Russia, for that matter. So when they said all those things, and then they talk about how much of guns are creeping the violence, it's not the guns, it's the criminal. Guess what? Most of now take a guess where all these the crimes are located. In the Black community.
There you go, man. I just said
it's in the Black community. So what they're saying is that, okay, just like,
excuse me,
they saying, well, we need to find a way to control the shooting incident.
That's not racist, guys. That's not racist what Mr. Dennis is saying. We're all Black. I'm Black. Mr. Dennis is Black. Zoe's Black. There's nothing racist what he's saying. Majority of Black communities in Chicago and predominantly in these leftist cities like Detroit, St. Louis, Baltimore, should I keep going? New York, Philadelphia. In these predominantly Black cities, blue states at that, they're very, very violent, guys. And even in some red states like Florida, like look at Miami, and if you look at those predominantly Black areas over there, they're kind of violent. And we promote this stuff in music and things like that. That's why they think it's cool in the Black community. And this is why the violence just will never stop, because every time we do call out this degeneracy, they call us Uncle Toms and coons like that, even though that doesn't really affect us. But at the same time, it's like you look like a fool because all you're doing is hurting yourself and the next generation after you.
Control the criminal, or else they'll be armed. You got to fill out because in order for you to get a gun, you got to fill out the 4473 form. That's a background check. That's what the 4473 form is. They're gonna find out if you are a felon or not, or if you're
the white liberals. See,
well,
look,
I like to say,
I understand. Listen, I understand the white liberals are a problem as well, because I believe they do kind of, be unhinged and wear the colored hair, and they think, men should be in women's bathrooms and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. White libs are insane. They do a lot of damage. But we have to be honest with ourselves. Besides the school shooters, guys, they do violence, but they do petty stuff like attack Tesla cars and vandalize property and things like that. There aren't killing like really anybody unless they're like a school shooter. Now in the Black community, they will like kill you. Some of these people will kill you just for looking at them crazy. That's actually scary, though.
Mentally inclined, they're going to find those things out through the 4473. They're not going to let you get a gun like that. And that's what these gun control advocates are saying. They say guns kill people. No, people kill people. Right. Guns got the same reputation as pit bull.
I said that earlier.
That's all it is too. If you use the gun correctly and the train, you do the training and stuff like that, it's gonna save lives. And guns do save lives. Guns save lives. Do. They can't say it don't. Because
how do you go? So say I would like to get my like as a gun license. How would I go about that? Like what's the steps?
Okay, through the state of Illinois, you got to go on a website for the Illinois State Police for an application. Then You gotta fill out your name, date of birth, all that stuff. Then you got to fill out a lot of questions. They're gonna ask you if you did drugs, have you been committed to a mental institute, those things like that. Once you do that, then once you fill that information out, then it's a $10 fee. Then once that $10 fee, you got to send them a copy of your state or driver license ID. Then it's $10. You gotta wait 30 days. Then you'll get a letter from the Illinois State Police, which is going to be your FOI card. And then after you get your FOI card, you go to the range. You can go ahead. You can purchase a gun with a FOI card. Then you can find somebody who could train you for your CCL license, depending on the individual how much they charge.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to pay $150 fee to the state of Illinois to get your concealed carry license.
Okay.
And boom, there you have it, guys. Now, if you're living in Chicago and if you are thinking about carrying a gun to keep yourself protected, this is how you stay out of jail. This is how you stay out of jail, guys, and be a law-abiding citizen. It only costs $160 in total. If you work a job on consistent, regular basis, like a normal, regular citizen should be doing, then you should have no problem coming up with $160 to get yourself legally armed to carry. Just saying.
Okay.
And so that's how you do it. You can get the gun with your FOI card, but you cannot carry around in the street because of that FOI. You got to get a concealed carry.
Conceal and carry.
Yes.
Okay. And right now, the illegals don't have to do any of this.
Well, because of the Obama, this was through an Obama appointed judge in the 7th Circuit. And what she's saying is that the illegals have the same constitutional right as as law-abiding citizen. Maybe she didn't read that a well-regulated militia to the security of the free state, the people shall keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It didn't say nothing about the Venezuela, Tren del Agua, MS-13, the Mexicans, the Africans, or anybody else in the godforsaken place that have the right to bear arms. But let's say that they would do that. Guess what? They got to fill out the FOI card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If they were trying to get a gun, they got to fill out the 4473 form. They got to fill that out. And that 4473 form go to the FBI. So you're really telling on yourself.
There you go, baby.
Okay.
There you go.
So
Oh, wow, Mr. Dennis, man. He said, you really telling on yourself, but you kind of is, though, because you know you're illegal as hell. Shout out, Mr. Dennis, man. Let's get it.
That's how you purchase your firearm. You can get a FOI card, and then if you want to carry a conceal, you got to take a class for, I think it's 8 hours, and then you got to get tested on the range.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What? So I think that the reason why,
man, y'all talking about Tampon Tim in the comments, bruh. Tampon Tim needs to go. You guys know he want to be a stand-up comedian now. That's all right. The Democrats are a joke. They have Tim Waltz, bro. They have AOC. They have Jasmine Crockett. Literally, what do they have? They have Bernie Sanders. Honestly, Bernie Sanders is just crazy. He's an independent in Vermont. Can I do my Bernie Sanders joke voice, y'all? So Bernie Sanders, you know, I just can't stand Bernie Sanders because he believes to taxing the millionaires until he became a millionaire. And now he wants to tax the billionaires, which is very hypocritical. Because if he becomes a billionaire, then who will he tax? This is just your average communist socialist, ladies and gentlemen. And then the Democrats have actually snubbed me for so long, me being Bernie Sanders, because I am a sellout. But I still feel like I owe the Democratic Party loyalty, guys, because I am so old and stupid. Yeah, guys, that's Bernie Sanders for you. Like, he's been stuck. I honestly feel like Joe Biden shouldn't have even been running in what was that, 2020? I think it should have actually been Bernie Sanders, if I'm being honest. But they played him. He know they played him. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, he's an idiot. He's a fool. Tim Walz, hold up. Tim Walz is your governor? Oh my God. Bro, I'm praying for you. I want to give you a super chat. I know, bro. I know JB Pritzker is bad, but Tim Walz, oh my gosh. That's George Fittenall's finest right there. Bernie impression is good. Okay, guys, let me stop joking around. Let's get back to it.
Our mayor and the rest of his socialist posse has not tried to find something that's similar to
a beach house,
Shot Spotter and stuff. It's because I think they want us to go to some type of war. Like, as far as, like, they want what's going on. Like, it's a lot of, even though crime is down 20%, but it's a lot of violence happening.
But you guys already know, on the Chicago Conservative, I fact check things live, and I just checked that, and I don't believe that to be true. Because as I'm looking here, crime didn't really go down. Crime didn't really go down. It definitely isn't 20%. If anything, it dropped to like what, 3? But it's like up and down. So, you know, because it's getting hot outside, that's the only reason why it probably dropped down 20%. And if it did, it's thanks to Trump. And second of all, it was cold outside. So these Negroes is put up. Ooh. But now it's about to get hot. That's why you need to learn your shot. Second Amendment. Ooh.
Happening between the different gangs, the new gangs. I think, like, he wants this to go on. He wants this to happen. Because I think that, you know, one of his things, I was told that he's a nationalist. So maybe this is his way of thinking that he's going to control Chicago by creating all this havoc that's going on. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, if that's the case, then we have to do whatever it takes to arm ourselves and protect ourselves. So if he wants his precious pet illegals to come with machete, because, you know, there's an old saying in the country, they'll never bring a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah.
And if these Venezuela gang members or anybody else, these illegals, will do that, then I'm gonna have to see. I have the right to defend my life, your life, or anybody else's life. That's constitutional. I have that right to protect yourself.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, to your answer to the question you asked, is that if it happened, it won't affect Brandon Johnson because he got 200 police details.
Yeah,
that's true.
Nearing at his house, his state of residence.
Yeah, matter of fact, it was even when we come out, you know, yesterday it was only 4 of us. You know, I mean, it wasn't many people that came out to the guy's fundraiser, but the fact that we don't really be, you know, pressed for a whole bunch of people coming out, but it was more. I feel like it was more police officers than protesters, and people that were at the senator's fundraiser.
Mhm.
But you're talking about, I mean, team takeovers. You're talking about
Exactly.
Venezuelans and the illegals fighting. You've got the loitering and the soliciting over at the Home Depot. You know, you're dealing with a whole bunch of reckless, ridiculous things, but you have about 15 to 20 officers on bicycles protecting the senator, I guess.
Yeah. That's it. The police need to be where it need to be at. But then, most importantly, we need more police to be hired here in Chicago, especially. We need more police officers here. Now, should some of the police? I can't speak on police reform. I could call it better police, more like better police training in a hostile situation, these team takeovers and stuff. And I'm glad you brought that up, because now it's not the adults that's doing the shooting; it's these juveniles that's doing the shooting. Look what happened during that team takeover in Streeterville. A 14-year-old has been arrested and charged for shooting a 15-year-old. Now, where does 14-year-old get a gun at? Out somewhere in the street.
Right.
You can't say they get it from Indiana, because Indiana.
That's crazy, man. 14-year-old shot a 15-year-old during a team takeover, and they actually shot a innocent civilian who was actually a tourist, guys, and she was with her son at the time as well, and she got shot. So thank God she's still alive. But this is just getting absolutely ridiculous. And like Mr. Dennis said, I mean, it's not new that kids are, doing shootings and things like that. I don't know if you guys know the story of Yummy. But that was a young Chicago kid. I think he was a part of the Black Disciples. And I think he was a killer too. And I think he was like 12 years old. He was a real young kid. So this isn't like new, but it's getting really bad nowadays. They got all of this stuff on YouTube. They call each other out on social media and things like that. And like Mr. Dennis said, they're getting them off the streets, and it's so easy to get a gun nowadays. It's crazy. Now, how they're getting them, I don't know. Right, Yummy was 8. That's crazy. Little boy was 8 years old. And I think he was part of the Black Disciples too. And then they lured him in an alley and shot him dead. A young kid, though.
Had to go by the law of gun purchasing through the state of Illinois.
Right.
It's the fact that Indiana is a constitutional state.
So that's what a lot of people say. They say that a lot of the guns are coming from Indiana and are being brought back here. But you're saying no.
No. Like when that young man 2 Saturdays ago, he said that they hijacked a freight train, pull all these weapons, and have them on the south side and say, "Go ahead and get these guns." So they can't put it on Indiana.
Wow.
Yeah, the freight trains is where they getting all their guns. They I don't know if they still drop them off in the trash bins too, the big bins.
Yeah.
Well, they used to do it in the where the housing projects is. That they would drop them in there, but now I know for sure. Every time I see, they always say, "Oh, the freight train is getting robbed." I'm like, "Oh yeah, those are the new guns for the season."
Yeah.
So, but that is good to know that it's not Indiana, because a lot of people love to say that, "Oh no, they're going to Indiana and picking up the guns, and then they're bringing them back here." So I always be like, well, Indiana's a red state. However, I do know that well, you did say Indiana and Texas is constitutional.
You don't require no permit. However, you got to have a state ID.
You have to have a state ID.
Right. So Indiana don't honor Illinois state ID to purchase a firearm. It's only for Indiana residents.
Right.
The only way that I could purchase a gun
if you got
from
CCL,
Indiana is I have to present a FOID card.
right? A FOID
and
card.
the reason why some people go and buy ammunition and guns because Illinois got a real high tax bracket on firearms.
Oh, good. Tax on everything.
Yes, they tax on firearms.
They tax everything.
Yes, especially here in Cook County.
Right.
So that's why I buy my ammo in Indiana because the taxes are way much lower there than it is here in Indiana. I mean, in Illinois.
Illinois. Okay.
Yes.
So
yeah, Illinois tax everything.
What do you are you familiar with ShotSpotter? Like, do you know if there's any other like detection?
I know that ShotSpotter is a $36 million investment that Brandon Johnson took out of the city of Chicago because he feel like it's a basically useless machine and it isn't really effective when it comes to getting criminals off the streets, which is absolutely ridiculous because it came out of police officers' mouths. I'm quoting these officers. These ShotSpotters help us rather than hurt us. They help more than hurt us. So if this is coming from actual Chicago police officers that are actually doing the job out there, you aren't doing the job, Brandon Johnson. The police is out there doing the job. They know what works for them, not you. They are the experts, not you. So why are you not listening? This is why the police don't like you. You feel what I'm saying? This is why the police don't like Brandon Johnson. He doesn't know how to do his damn job.
That you've heard of or familiar with. I haven't done my research. There's only one detection that I saw that people have replaced. I was going to do a live on that later on. I'm just waiting to see. I'm waiting for the year to come up that if they still have not figured out how to replace ShotSpotter, which they don't want to replace.
They don't want to. Here's the thing about this. Just like Brandon Johnson, before Brandon Johnson, Lori Lightfoot before that. Now, I think Rahm Emanuel, I'm going to give him some credit. It wasn't that much of a crime under his administration. But Lori Lightfoot, and especially Lori Lightfoot, allowed this chaos to happen because of the sanctuary laws. And she ain't doing too much to stop the crime that happened here.
No, she did.
During
taking care of the Jews.
Yes. So and then
she going now, huh?
Just only protecting certain sections of Chicago, Bridgeport, all the way down to Streeterville and the Gold Coast.
Okay.
Problem in Austin, we had problem in Auburn Gresham, we had problem in South Shore. We had so much looting that it was not a police there to stop it. And even though if the police was there to stop it, they have to let them out because of the Safety Act that J.B. Pritzker had put into the law.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think people understand like how terrible J.B. Pritzker is for Illinois as far as the governor.
Oh, people definitely understand how terrible he is. People know he sucks. They know Brandon Johnson have to answer to somebody, and that would be J.B. Pritzker. If he actually cared about, these illegals that was invading Chicago, basically sexually assaulting our women, taking all of our tax dollars, taking all of our resources like our shelters and things like that, he would have been done something. Brandon Johnson would have been done something. He would have basically did an executive order or an executive decision. I mean, he's the mayor, for crying out loud. All that sanctuary law stuff, he could have got rid of that with a swipe of a pen. I don't even think he needs to do a vote for that.
I don't think people realize that because they only show the J.B. Pritzker talking about affordable health care for all, and he's taking care of the trans and everything else, but never about what's going on really in Illinois. And
that's kind of stupid.
these cities that are the most vulnerable. You know,
Yeah.
I mean that citywide communities that are the most vulnerable, and it continues to happen. Honestly, with every administration, because I really feel like they have counted our youth out.
Yes. With Pritzker, he wanted to be president more than if he trying to seek third term as governor. I think he wanted to be president so badly he will try to outdo Newsom.
That will never freaking happen. JB Pritzker, that dude is crazy bad. Right, Pritzker is awful. That dude is actually bad, though. He will never be the president. If JB Pritzker can be a president, man, if JB Pritzker ran for president and actually won, I'm moving to, I don't know. I'm moving, bro. I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I'm moving to Dubai or something. I don't know, or Lithuania or some crap.
Newsom, Kathy Holcomb, Gretchen
That dude
Whitmer.
was an actual dick.
He trying to outdo them. Like, oh, I'm gonna put more gun laws here in my state, and mine's gonna be more stricter than yours. And you see what?
Right.
They it's like you don't care about our lives. You don't care about the next generation. You care about these two things: these illegals and crime. Now I'm gonna show you how this works. Crime is a business for the Democrat. It's a business for the Democrat because every time, if they get caught, they get locked up. Guess what? They get paid 68 cents an hour during time in prison. That money goes to the state. That money that's in the state go to the legislature and the governor. So they want it. So in order for you to stop it, you own a firearm. And then my thing is a dead offender is better than a repeat offender. So my thing is,
oh my god, yo, Mr. Dennis, do not be joking around, man. A dead offender is better than a repeating offender. I mean, it makes sense to me. Not gonna lie. If he's a repeating offender and if he's gonna keep doing bad, I mean, you guys tell me in the chat.
Get a firearm, $500. Do some training, and then hey, do it. Hey, protect yourself. I know back in February, it was two men who trying to rob a sanitation worker, a garbage man. It was at 2:00 in the morning. What did he do? They didn't know he was concealed. He used his gun and shot one in the head. One was 43, the other one was 20. The 20-year-old, he's suffering for the rest of his life for that gunshot wound. The 43-year-old, he's dead. It happened back around in February in the South Shore neighborhood. On 69th Oglesby, an intruder went into a young lady's bedroom while she was getting herself ready. The mother shot the intruder, and she had the right to do it because it's a castle. Because Illinois is not only a red flag state, but it's a castle doctrine state too.
It's a cancel what?
It's a castle doctrine.
A cancel doctrine. Okay.
Castle doctrine, and what it means is that it's like you heard the old saying, "A man's house is their castle."
Yes.
Castle, you have the right to protect it.
Right.
Okay.
That's why.
So is that like to stand your ground?
No, you stand your ground is anywhere. You don't have to. You don't have to stand your ground. That's in Florida. And what it is that if somebody come and attack you or anywhere, it could be in front of a parking lot, grocery store, wherever. You have the right to protect yourself under that stand your ground.
Okay, is that Is that what, I don't know if you're following the case that's happening in Texas? Is that what they're using as the Carmelo Anthony situation?
Well, what happened was Carmelo Anthony, he used a knife.
Okay.
He was the
man.
Now
here we go. Here we go, guys.
If that young man had a gun and stuff, he had a right to shoot because Texas is a constitutional state. You don't have to be it. You know, it don't have to be castle doctrine. It don't have to be stand your ground.
Okay.
Because Carmelo Anthony used a knife on that young man.
But here's the thing, though, guys. When it comes to self-defense, it has to be equal force. You feel what I'm saying? It has to be equal force for it to be self-defense, guys. And Austin Metcalf did not have a knife, but Carmelo Anthony did. And it actually was premeditated murder because he said, touch me again. Not touch me again, excuse me. He said, touch me, excuse me, and see what happens or see what I'll do to you. Basically, touch me and I'll stab you. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what he said.
Man, on school ground. Now, if the Texas, if some law enforcement officer in Texas was there at the time and he draw that knife on that kid, he had every right to shoot him because because it was a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to know that. That's the first time I've asked my research. I was looking, see both sides, and I a lot of people don't like Charleston White, but I agreed with him saying that it's
shout out Charleston White, man. That's the GOAT, man. Old YN.
It happened at school, and there's no violence is not prohibited in school. No weapons are supposed to be on school ground, so, and the parents, what I hate to see now is that more parents are not involved. Like, I've never had an issue with a child at school or however, my mother was very active in.
Hey, Brooke, man, you hilarious. Yet the Bears suck. They actually suck, though. That comment is funny.
In my life, I remember one year for the first semester, I was going to the library every day. I wasn't even going to class. And my mother happened to, stop by or something like that, but found out I was going to the library all the time. But my mother started getting active, and I just feel like right now these parents are not as active in their child's life. They're not asking them questions like, what's going on? Do you have beef with somebody at school? Let's try to talk it out. Let's go to the principal. Let's go to the dean. Let's go to the guidance counselor. I don't even know if they even have guidance counselors anymore, but I just feel like
they should.
They
should have guidance counselors still, guys. I don't think guidance counselors. I mean, if they don't have guidance counselors in school, it's kind of jacked up.
Accountability is a real big issue in our community, and we're so used to dealing with everything being a racial issue, when I'll say right now 80% of the problem is us.
Yeah,
it's not the racial part as what people are trying to push it as. I know racism when I see racism, but I also see two political parties. One, which is a Democratic Party, show no accountability for what they try to do as far as bringing all these illegals over to replace Black Americans, because that's what it really was for Black Americans. However, instead of talking about that situation, they have ran over to, this is going to be the next Sean Bell, the next Trayvon Martin, the next, like for this, because we really don't want to talk about all of the sex trafficking and drug trafficking and the human trafficking that we've just did for the last 4 years, and how we're displacing.
Yes, abso-freaking-lutely what we've been doing for the last 4 years, especially when it came to Joe Biden and over how many missing children that was in the cages that Obama built, and Joe Biden, putting those kids in those cages, I believe over what, 300,000 kids. But now new reports are saying like it was like over what, probably 600,000 kids that was in those cages that are missing, that are unaccounted for though. So they're definitely trafficking kids. And then when you account Hunter Biden and his laptop and Joe Biden and what he did to his daughter, because what's her name, Sarah Biden, she had a what is it, what they call it, guys, what the girls be having, diaries. She had a diary, and it said in the diary that Joe Biden used to basically actually assault her while she was in the bathtub. That's creepy, and he should be in jail, but he's not.
Facing Americans, especially seniors. That's why it's so.
And if I just want to add Bill Clinton as well, he actually got charged twice when it came to sexually assaulting a woman. I believe it was one of the administrators. Bill Clinton, he was doing things with Jeffrey Epstein, I believe, as well. Because how many times was he on that plane? You know what I'm saying? And it's like he has a very, very terrible track record when it comes to, misconduct, when it comes to the workplace, guys. Like, what was that in 2001? He was publicly accused of sexual misconduct, including rape, harassment, and actual assault. Excuse me, guys. I don't be trying to, get flagged on YouTube, so I gotta, censor these things. But yeah, they're gross. They're gross people.
Many, what are they called? Nursing homes all over the place. Like, I call nursing homes like little senior jails.
Senior group homes.
Senior group homes. So I feel like people have went to that extreme, and we're going to talk about that, and we're going to boycott Walmart and Target. And it's like, let's get back to how incompetent these local, state and federal elected officials are, and how they have put us in this position for the last 40 years, and nobody doesn't want to discuss that.
No, they don't want to address the issue because it won't fit their narrative. Like I say earlier, the Democrats, they need this and stuff. They need this more than anything else because seriously,
that's all they can talk about
year from the election cycle.
That's all. Thank you. During the election cycle, this is all they're going to use. This is all they're going to basically put all their cards on the table with, guys. Racism, anti-Semitism.
And now they on panic mode because Trump is in office. The House and Senate is controlled by Republicans. 95, the border crossing went down all the way down to 98%.
Yeah,
and within
nobody's going through that border right now. Trust me.
A 2-month period. So that's amazing. Now, only way. Now, here's the thing: how we can handle these illegals. See, these illegals hang out mainly at Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's. They hang out over there
right
on 95th and Stony, want to wash your windshield. You don't know what's in that water. God, you don't know what's in there, and they're gonna put it on your windshield and stuff. You got women selling candies, and now they're out there walking around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning prostituting. So like they at home. Do that at your home state. Don't do it here. We got kids and we got elderlies that need to be.
And my thing, if anyone buys that candy and something happens to them, they're like, who are you going to sue? Who's liable?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, just stuff like that. But someone said that they heard that there wasn't school grounds. It was an outside track facility. There's video that hasn't come out yet. So that's I guess that's a new thing.
What do you mean it wasn't on school grounds? I mean, isn't the track, course a part of the school? Or am I missing something?
However, like I said, I haven't really been paying close attention to it because I know the distraction. And the distraction, that is a distraction from the economic fight and the fight of the United States of America being under attack between Trendiagua, MS-13,
yep,
and whoever else is over here violating every right, but they're allowed to do it because they're not U.S. citizens, and they get a pass, which is crazy. So I think I never was a person that was like interested in purchasing a gun, or my mom or anyone, but what we're looking at now is like, it's like maybe we do need to go to the range, because
facts.
They're literally not letting our law enforcement do their job. Then you have new law enforcement that are starting to apply. However, I'm starting to see that
our board,
they're only Hispanics.
What did that comment just say? Hold on, let me. That just says 17. Are you a crazy cat lady? 17 what? 17 cats? Dang! That's wild. 17 cats is crazy, dude. I mean, 17 is a lot.
And I see a few blacks that are coming out. I see a few whites, but when I look at this academy, there's a whole bunch of Hispanics, and they're all over the place. You know what I'm saying? A majority of them are going into our neighborhoods. So far, it's been 2 black kids who have been charged with shooting a Hispanic police officer. And I see that cycle, and I also see a lot of OGs who are retired police officers that would love to come in and help, and even retired people who are in the military that would like to help, and mentor some of the new law enforcement or the people who aspire to be law enforcement, but they're not even letting that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like they don't want. It's honestly like they're really trying to turn Chicago into a socialist city. I mean, prison. Like, if we continue to allow this to happen, we are doomed, because the Hispanics right now, even with this election that's coming up, 26, 27, 28, you got the Cook County Board President, you got the governor, you got the senator, you've got the mayor.
And the city council.
The city council, you got to get these disgraced 50 out. But it's going to be a battle
that's
of,
crazy,
honestly, the black and brown. everything that they've been trying to push about saying that black and brown are together, we are. But when it comes to government, when it comes to business, every man for themselves, and
Right.
that's how this election has to be. And it's one of the most important elections, especially for my organization, Chicago Fifth Red. Any other Republicans that are in the city, Illinois GOP, they just have a new commissioner, a new person that stepped up, Adam Delmar, I think his name is. Sean Morrison, he stepped down. He said he wanted to let somebody younger come in, and thank you for that. But yeah, I feel like we have, in order to save this city, it has to be anti-democrat, anti-progressive,
there you go, baby.
anti-socialist,
Anti-democrat. That's the best thing I've heard this whole interview. We got us. I mean, the Democrats have what, a 19% approval rating, and it's slowly still continuously dropping because they don't have a leader. They don't have leadership. They don't have policy. They don't have anything besides race bait. And, not capitalism, communism. They don't believe in capitalism because they're socialists and they're Marxists. And that's the thing. That's the same thing that they're trying to do with this Carmelo Anthony crap. They wanted this to go to trial because now they can racially motivate this, guys. They can manipulate the jury into thinking, oh, he's black, and if we put him in jail for the rest of his life, then they're gonna relude, and they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that, and I don't want to be, I don't want to be responsible for black people looting everything and stealing everything and breaking everything. I don't want to be responsible for black people doing that. So yeah, we're just going to let him go. We're just going to let him off the hook. We're just going to let him off the hook for stabbing a kid in the heart. Yeah, no.
Anti-DEI.
Huh?
Anti-DEI.
Yeah, anti-DEI. And everyone has to be on code. However, it's going to be a lot of going back and forth with black and brown. I already see it. I already see little things that's going to start to come out. So we just got to be on our P's and Q's. And I think when it comes to having the right to bear arms right now, it's not a game. Like, if you guys do not have your conceal and carry, if you guys do not have your FOI card, you must get it, especially until these executive orders are rescinded. And hopefully they'll be soon, because hopefully Donald Trump will be having Cash Patel and Don and Pam Bondi start indicting these criminals who are running the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago and many of these counties.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And another thing is, we have to fault ourselves because we continue on voting for this.
Thank you, Mr. Dennis. You're cooking too much, man. You have to calm down. You guys got to put some water on the grill, man. Mr. Dennis is absolutely cooking. Yes, guys, we have to hold the people responsible for voting in these garbage people, these garbage politicians who don't care about you. And they're predominantly Democrat when it comes to the black community. You guys keep on voting these people in. Why are you doing this? These people do not care about you. Why do you guys keep doing that? If you guys know the Democratic Party have done nothing for over 60 plus years, this just makes you insane to think that these people are going to do something to you because you think all skin folk is kinfolk. Is that what it is? They go right to the voting poll and vote Democrat for absolutely no reason. One party system.
Right.
Democrats. Same, different people under the same party with same results.
Yes.
Bad to worse to dangerous to destructive to non-exist.
Yeah.
And we need to stop voting for this type of madness and stuff. I mean, if you're not going to give, how are you going to blame the Republicans if you never gave them a chance in the city of Chicago? The last Republican we had was over 90 years ago.
1930s.
1931.
Yeah, there you go,
1931.
man.
Yeah, it was 1930.
1930.
And it was, they said the reason why it was switched over because of the economic crisis back then with the Republicans. So now that we are in 2025, it's an economic crisis that has been happening, honestly, since Daley's been in office.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's just finally came to the head. You know, you can't keep, was it rob Peter to pay Paul? That's how the city of Chicago has been running for so long. And basically guilting, it's not even guilting, but basically guilting the city of, the citizens of Cook County and the city of Chicago with going up on certain taxes or certain things because the Republicans are trying to take over, and the whole time y'all making the same amount. Matter of fact, y'all still, the Democratic Party done stole so much money in Chicago because you gotta keep the corruption going.
Yeah.
That they don't even know how to do right now. Like, this is the best time for them to do right because they're done. However, instead, they are doubling down on lies. They're doubling down on oaths. Today, Dick Durbin said he wasn't running anymore. And another lady by the name of Jan, I can never pronounce her last name, said she's not running anymore. But a lot of other people need to not run. Like Willie Wilson, we don't run no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A person who consistently runs for mayor and never wins, like you're never gonna win. When it comes to, it's not just Willie Wilson, it's a few others that run every time.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna be just like, y'all gonna continue to keep the corruption going. We have to change everything, and it changes with the party. Like, there's a couple of people that I've spoken to, and they'll say stuff like, well, the Democratic Party, I mean, I just can't do Republican. And I'm like, but you can do Democrat again, and you can continue to do Democrat again. Like,
that's insanity, guys. That's the textbook version of insanity. You're gonna keep voting for the same person over and over again. That's insane. You can't do that. Why are you doing that? Because at that point, you're just gonna keep voting for your own demise and the people around you, especially the next generation.
First of all, you give your vote. The Democratic Party would not be the Democratic Party if it wasn't for Black America. Mm-hmm. So you continue to give your vote to these people for the bare minimum. And then when you mention that and say that, they'll say things like, well, we really don't need either party. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear we don't need either party. Because if that was the case, back when, as soon as they killed King and Malcolm, we should have had an independent party. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that doesn't even make any sense. So,
independent. What? Hold on. What? I mean, yeah, I understand the death of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was terrible, but I mean, what kind of independent party are we looking at? Because Martin Luther King was a Republican, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
So to sit here and say that we can't, Democratic, we really don't need neither party. No, you can't sit here and say that when we never gave the Republican Party a chance. I never gave the Republican Party a chance. And I never gave the Republican Party a chance because I never looked at politics as something that I would ever be interested in. I never looked at politics as something that I would have to rely on, because when I think about politics, I think about the government, and I'm an entrepreneur and I'm gonna make my money regardless. But when it hit to my front door with my mom, he's not here anymore. But when it hit my front door with my mom,
what happened, Mr. Dennis?
I realized that
I think Mr. Dennis backed out. He should probably be back.
The Democratic Party is the worst party on earth, and you have to be a complete idiot to continue to vote for a party who does not give you anything and will not help you when you need their help. Like, that was the situation with us. If they would have helped my mom when she went to them in 2017, if they would have helped my godfather instead of trying to put so many different type of tax liens on their made up tax liens, and then they'll pay that and then other stuff, then we wouldn't be here. But the Democratic Party does not want Black Americans to have any type of generational wealth.
Absolutely. Want to know why? Because to create generational wealth, you have to believe in capitalism. And the Democrats don't believe in capitalism, guys. They're commies. You feel what I'm saying? They want to keep giving you government funds. They want to keep giving you the government's money because basically they want themselves to basically feel like they're your dad or something like that. Like, you have to come to them for everything. And then Black folks come with their hands out. They don't give you enough to basically start your own business and do this, that, and the third. Oh, no. They're going to just give you just enough for you to come crawling back and saying, I need more.
Basically counted us out, and they've been counting us out for a very long time because we aren't politically aware, we aren't politically aligned, and they thought they had us. And honestly, you got India that's trying to come after America. You got Israel. You've got China. You got Mexico. You got Venezuela. Now, Chinatown is in what? All cities, all for 2 cities.
Yes, Chinatown.
You have Little India in all these cities. You have Little Mexico in all of these cities. You already know Jews are here. And now you're dealing with Little Venezuela over here now. So this is going to be the 5th country to come over here.
Little Venezuela? I don't think so. ICE.
Here and set up.
Call ICE like now.
Shop in America. Set up shop in America. But when it comes to, and the Democratic Party helps them set up shop and give them everything they need. Set up shop, real estate, business license, money, housing, food. I mean, basically, they living free off of our money. They've been doing it for so long that they go back and call their cousins and stuff and say, y'all too can come over here. And once their visas and stuff expire, like the Indians do,
right, H-1B visas,
like the Indians do, they end up go and get another person over here, and then they come do the same.
He's back.
Thing. They set up shop in our communities, and it's no problem. But when it comes to Black American citizens, when our communities look the way they look, when we come to our representatives and our elected officials that we put in, they don't know what to tell you. I don't know, man. Did you get you a lawyer? Did you do this? Did you that? I shouldn't have to do anything when I helped you get in office.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I feel like when it comes to the Democratic Party, there's no way in the world as a Black American you can continue to vote Democrat. You're insane.
Right. Now, speaking of that, here's a little history note. After the Civil Rights War, we had the right to bear arms and stuff. And Black former slaves carry guns, but at the time, the politician had stopped the blacks from using guns because they figure they don't need it, or they'll say, well, they don't have a right and stuff because they still slaves. So there's a little history behind that too, as well. And another thing is that when the Black Panther, the Black Panther did start by like everybody had a right to bear arms, not only whites but blacks as well.
Mm-hmm.
But now now you got the Republicans who encourage us to bear arms and stuff because after what happened during 2020 during the George Floyd riots, it's like people like you and myself and my children and everybody else, they are open targeted. It's just a matter of when. It's not the matter of if, it's a matter of when they're going to start using violence. So that's something that need to be appointed. And I would like to help anybody who are interested in firearm training, know the laws around here, not only in the state of Illinois, but throughout this country and stuff. I would like to help people to do that because it's not only my life, but it's everybody's life. And the one who want to take it are the ones who don't care about nothing. These stupid gun-free zones they have in the restaurant, in the schools and stuff. Look what happened. This is the result of what happened at Florida State. Right. Another mass shooting in a gun-free zone. Out there,
gun-free zone.
Yes. Over there in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Gun-free zone. Mass shooting.
Okay.
Out there in Florida. That high school in Florida. Gun-free zone, mass shooting. Gun-free zone don't work at all. It don't work, and it ain't gonna stop the shooting because criminals love gun-free zone, just like they love gun control. And see, gun control don't stop crime. It control law-abiding citizens. It control us.
Right. So
yeah, guys, I was kind of cutting out. My camera was cutting out a little bit, but yes, I agree. I don't know how my camera would go out like that. But the thing when it comes to gun laws, guys, like I said earlier, all this does is just stop the citizen from carrying a firearm and protecting themselves from. First of all, it's going to protect them from illegal criminals for sure because they're flooding Chicago. And then it's just going to protect them from the average criminal, even if they're not an illegal alien or whatever you want to call it. They can just be a regular crazy guy because you do know it didn't start with illegals. Like Chicago has always been crazy.
We find you.
You can go on my number 312-887-9998, or you could shoot me an email at chef_2a@yahoo.com. Also, you can go to I got an Instagram page, FAFO Gun Club.
Just fuck around and find out. Just in case you guys don't know.
Chicago. Also, my Facebook page is also FAFO Gun Club Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Okay, are you on X?
Yes, I am. I don't know my ex account is Dennis White, 63.
Dennis White.
63. Yes.
So what do you have? You have anything coming up next?
Well, I encourage people for those who own guns. I believe, to be honest with you, I believe that people need to buy more than one firearms. One gun is not enough. Absolutely. Buy more than one. And I believe the more guns you have, the more protection you'll be.
And when you say you want to teach people, like you want to hold classes, go to the gun range, what do you want to do?
Well, I'm not certified in the state of Illinois to do a concealed carry. However, I can take you to a gun range, teach you the basic on how to hold a gun, trigger squeeze, front sight shooting, breathing control, proper stance. I could do that.
So maybe do some type of meetup.
Yes. Until I get certified state, then I could do concealed carrying and stuff. But
okay. Or maybe we'll set up a meetup. I never been to a gun range. I like archery though. I used to do archery growing up.
Man, a bow and arrow. Archery, you gotta be real accurate though, man. Them bullseyes is hard to hit, but I don't think people gonna. I don't know about that
one. Yeah. Well, see, the difference with archery, you gotta be very accurate to hit.
Yeah, man.
You gotta be very accurate, and you don't. And see, here's the thing: you gotta reload with one.
You gonna hit somebody, boy? It's cowboy versus Indians, boy.
An arrow with a semi-automatic. You just keep the finger on the trigger.
Right. So I don't know. Yeah, we gotta do maybe we'll set up another meetup. But I enjoyed this. Maybe we should do this once a month, Mr. Dennis.
Yeah, and
to talk about the Second Amendment and
what?
Yes.
Whatever's going on, a current event that's going on.
Yes, definitely. I'd be happy to help out.
It's gonna be a regular thing. Let's see.
And share the information. I will encourage every woman who watch your show. I think your channel is dynamic and stuff. I encourage every woman to protect themselves because the police ain't gonna be there in time to protect you. And dialing 911 is not gonna be fast enough.
No, you're right. And you did say something the other day when I was talking to you. How many seconds did you say it takes to call 911?
With the police?
Yeah.
Okay. If it's a domestic violence, it will take about 20 minutes if you're lucky. A shooting incident, it would take 30 to 45 minutes. So the police are very slow to respond to 911 calls. So the only person that be the best defender of you is you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You could stop a criminal. I mean, I encourage even share ride drivers to be arm themselves because all these cars.
So I just looked this up, guys, and the answer is 6 to 12 minutes response time when it comes to high priority calls such as shootings. 6 to 12 minutes is crazy.
Carjackings that's been going on and stuff.
Right.
That need to be. You got some of these protesters here. You don't know what they're capable of doing. So I believe you should arm yourself by doing it.
No, that's true. Okay, what do you one more last thing I want to say. You say you were in the military.
Yes, I'm retired.
Retired?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you encourage do you encourage the youth to sign up now?
Yes. And another thing, I want to add something to it before I forget. The Democrats here in Illinois passing all these laws to make it hard for us. They're not going to try to pass a law for gun safety class in school.
Yeah.
But they don't have no problem, having a transgender reading Bob Love Bob and stuff. So why not?
Bob loves Bob. Oh my gosh.
Why not have a gun safety class?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with trying to get some like some auto body or something like that, how they still in cars like this. At the age of 8 and 9. I think they're ready.
Yeah. Now, here's something that nobody don't know. The average child among whites they teach their kids how to use a gun at the age of 8.
Yeah, real
8
early.
to 10 years old.
Very early.
Black, the only way they learn how to shoot a gun is through Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty.
It's sad, but it's true.
Video game. So they think that they can outshoot somebody like me, and I can shoot from 20 yards. That's 52 feet. So instead, the kids don't understand. Once you pull that trigger, that bullet don't come back. And if you get involved with a gun shooting incident, and somebody like me had to defend myself, guess what? There's no reset button when it comes down to a gunshot wound. There's no reset button.
Right.
Yep, that's true. All right. Well, Mr. Dennis, I appreciate you. We're going to do it at 3:30, but I appreciate you taking the time for this. And yeah, I would like to do this once a month. Maybe every third Wednesday. Yes. Every third Wednesday. Gun talk with Mr. Dennis.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, and your audience, they're dynamic.
I appreciate you. I hope to see you at the rally this Sunday.
Will do. If you want me to speak, I'll be happy to speak.
Gun Talk with Mr. Dennis, guys. There you have it, featuring Zoe Leigh. I ain't gonna lie, I loved it, guys. It was like 2 hours long, but I liked it this live, guys. It was pretty nice. It was very, very nice. It was definitely informative. You know, it was funny. And we got to thank Mr. Dennis, guys. We definitely got to shout out Mr. Dennis. But yes, you guys have been definitely W's in the chat today. Shout out Ruth. Thank you for the super chat. Shout out Nicholas, man. Shout out everybody that was in the chat today. Brooke. Who else was in the chat today, man? You know, you guys know I want to give out the shout outs before I head out of the live stream. Patriot Grim. Who else? Truth was in the chat. Ren and Simpy, man. Shout out you. Nicholas. I believe Nicholas was in the chat. Yep. Man, thank everybody who was just in the chat today. I appreciate everybody. Yeah, guys, it was just an absolute great live. If you guys didn't like and subscribe already, please feel free to like and subscribe to the video. Shout out Cindy Sanchez, W. But yeah, guys, if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. But yeah, guys, I really appreciate everybody tuning in. And guys, I'm gonna definitely do a live stream tomorrow because we definitely got to catch up on a lot of things. But like I said, I've been trying to do some live streaming stuff and things like that, guys. I've been trying to catch up on that. But yeah, guys, I will see you guys next time, and I'm out of here. Peace.